Nobody sits you down and says, here's how you'll stay broke for the next 20 years. But that's exactly what happens. You were set up before you even had a dollar. And whatever set you up is still taking from you right now. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about what's been draining you, how to recognize it, and more importantly, if you stay until the end, how to shut it off for good. My name is Stephanie. I paid off over $180,000 in debt, and now I'm building financial independence in real time. Let's get into it. Last time I talked about the 3 taxes: the people pleaser tax, the helper tax, and the guilt trip tax. I told you what the taxes were, but I didn't tell you how they hide, because they really don't look like spending. They look like being a good mom, being a good daughter, helping out, doing what you're supposed to do. And how can you cut something out that you can't see? These aren't impulse buys. You're not going on some shopping spree. You're not dumping all your money at the casino and betting it all on black. These are things that you've always done, just never questioned. The Disney Plus subscription, not for you, but for the kids. And in canceling it, it feels like you're going to take something away from them. And they're kids. So it stays every month. And you don't even think about it because it's for the kids. The park pass, because your neighborhood gives you a discount and your cousin's kids usually go along with you because you get them in the park for free. So you're not just paying for your family, you're paying for their family too. And you've been doing it for so long, so you're not just gonna all of a sudden take it away, right? It doesn't even feel like spending. It feels like you being the fun one, the one that's there for family. Or the birthday gift for the coworker that you haven't really had a conversation with in over 2 years, but everybody's passing around a card, so you thought you'd chip in and you don't want to be the person who doesn't contribute. Or the school event where you bought 3 times what you needed because your kids' class roster showed no one was buying up all the slots. You know, that online sheet that shows what's left to be purchased for the class, so you get constant email reminders like every week. Super convenient, right? Or the team snacks, because you're the mom who always brings them. And you can't just stop bringing snacks because you don't want some kid to not have a snack. And now you're the bad guy because all of a sudden you wanted to be cheap and that kid doesn't have a snack. And then there's dinner. The one where the check comes and nobody reaches for it except you. And you tell yourself, it's fine, it's just dinner. But it's never just dinner. It's a pattern. It's the role that you've been playing for far too long. None of these feel like spending. It feels like being there for people, the people that you love. And you've always done it this way. So it doesn't even register as a choice anymore. It's just what you do. Here's the thing that nobody talks about. All of those little moments, they add up. And I'm not just talking about the money. I'm talking about the fact that you're running a budget with a line item that you didn't even put there. It's called everybody else first. And it's really starting to piss you off. You're thinking, why am I the one who has to pay for everything? Why does it always fall on me? Why am I the only one that seems to be saying, I got it? So now it's starting to affect your relationships. You notice you're being more short with people and you're starting to let out that deep sigh when the bill comes, where you used to try and hide it and now you're just extra loud about it. You feel it every day and it's starting to impact on how you communicate with people. And they're starting to notice too. They might ask you like, hey, is there something wrong? And you can't even communicate what's wrong because it's not just one thing. It's everything. And you are literally at your breaking point. Hey, before I keep going, if you've been paying for other people's comfort and calling it generosity, hit the like button. That way other people that are going through the same thing can find this video as well before they find another video that tells them just budget harder. All right, let's get back into it. You weren't being irresponsible. You were just doing exactly what you were taught. Put your kids first. Help your family. Be generous. Don't be selfish. But nobody told you that being generous on autopilot isn't being generous at all. It's just straight up spending. And it's the hardest kind of spending to stop because it doesn't feel like you're saving money. It just feels like you're just letting someone down or being selfish or greedy. But you didn't install this drain. It was installed before you even had a say. You probably grew up watching your mom do the same thing. You learned that love looks like giving, even when you can't afford it. You learned that saying no to your kids feels worse than saying no to yourself. And by the time you had your own money, you were already running on a program that you didn't even write. So, how do you shut this thing down? All right, before we get into that, I want you to take a deep breath. You feeling like this shows that you care very deeply for the people that you love. You wouldn't be watching this far if you didn't. Hell, it'd probably be a lot easier if you didn't even like them, right? But something needs to give, or the people you love that you're trying to protect are going to feel it regardless. In the last video, I walked you through the yes audit, identifying the 3 taxes and quantifying how much they're actually costing you. And if you haven't done that yet, I'll link it in the description below. That's the what. Then come on back here because there's a second step that I didn't cover. And this is the one that shuts it off. Because knowing what you're spending isn't enough. You need to know why you're spending it. You need to know which yeses are yours and which are the ones that you inherited. So here's the second part of the yes audit. Take every yes you found in the first audit, every charge, every habit, every automatic decision, and ask yourself one question. If the roles were reversed, would this person do the same for me? Not would they help me if I was in trouble. That's a given. Of course they would. I'm asking, would they quietly and consistently, month after month, sacrifice their own money so you didn't have to? Would they pick up the check every time? Would they buy the snacks every week? Would they pay for the pass so your kids can go to the park? For most of you, the answer is probably no. Not because they're bad people, but because they don't operate on the same script you do. They weren't taught that love looks like sacrifice. They weren't taught that no feels like letting them down. You were. And the person that taught you probably learned the same way from someone who never questioned it either. That's the drain, not the spending. The belief that you're the only one that has to carry this. And once you see the people that you're breaking your budget for wouldn't do the same for you, the guilt just loses its grip. Because guilt only works when you believe you're the only person who can. You're not. You're just the only one who does. And that's a choice, not an obligation. Shutting off the drain doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It just means you start choosing where your money goes and not letting other people decide for you. Your kids don't need Disney Plus to show that you love them. Your cousin can buy their own park pass for their kids. And the office will continue to collect without you. Trust me, they still will. You get to be generous, but only when you decide to be. And a yes that you choose hits a lot differently than a forced one.